I like to be really efficient with designing, and one of the things that you can do is to save time is to create an armature for your vase designs. And one of the simplest ways to do that is to create a nest. Now you can use pre-made nests, which is like this one, or you can be really detailed, and I'll show you how to create your own. But with a pre-made nest, all you have to do is take your scissors or your knife and just make holes into the bottom of the nest, and then you just set it on top of the vase. So as you can see, I just used minimal product with this, and this is a design that's ones. So I have one ruscus, I have one lily, I have one protea, I have one stalk, I have one eucalyptus, and that's intentional. When you're designing, you usually want to do repetition, and if I was doing this with an unintentional design, I would have 2 lilies and 2 stalk and 2 protea. That type of thing creates repetition in your design. But by intentionally doing it the ones, you see that repetitiveness of just the single that you can do. So that's a really fast and easy way just to create a quick vase arrangement. Now you can go a little bit more elaborate and make your own nests. And a way to do that simply is by using, I like using chicken wire poultry netting, if you want to call it that, just because it gives me some stability. So you take your chicken wire, and I'm going to just use some Spanish moss. I'm going to put it in between this, it's just probably about 15 inches of chicken wire. Depends on how big you want your nest to be. But I'm just going to put it in between, and then you're going to take and just fold all of these cut pieces of your poultry netting into itself, and just fold them in. So you don't want any of that open wire to cut you or to intentionally catch on something. So you just want to make those dissolve into your design. And with the chicken wire then, what you can do is now you can start manipulating this into a nest shape. And I'm just going to fold all of this in just so that I have that shape. And you can get as detailed with this as you want to. And just continue creating this and just keep folding this and manipulating this. Now once you have it to where you think you got the nice shape and the size that you want, the great thing about this is all I have to do is just take my finger and I can poke it right through this moss and come out the other end so that I can put my flower stems down through that. So that gives me the ability then to create this. So then I'm going to take and just add, think about what do birds use in their nests. So I have a little bit of yarn that I'm just going to break apart. I have some jute, there's pieces of ribbon, I have pieces of foliage that I picked up off the floor. Whatever you have, little bits and pieces, then you can create these cute little nests with. So the next thing that I want to do is, if you have leaf shine, spray your hands with leaf shine. I don't have any leaf shine, I'm just going to use a little bit of oil on my hands and some TAC 2000. Now the oil and the leaf shine is going to keep you from sticking. So I'm just going to spray this glue, and careful with your spray glue so you don't get it everywhere, on the outside of my nest. And I've got all of this debris basically inside my box. And I'm just going to add that then to the outside of the nest. And you just keep adding as many things as you want. You can glue things on later if you want to. You can add it to the inside. But you can see what that does is gives you just a really nice colorful variety. You can make that appropriate for whatever color palette that you want to put your flowers in with. And then you can see that you can just stick a few stems down through. You have a cute little nest that sits on top of the vase with just a few stems of flowers. So that's pretty fast and easy. Now if you want to do this with foam, you can create this design. And as you can see, this whole part of this vase extension or container extension is a nest, and that nest look. So let me show you how this is done. And very simply, I typically use a liner like this. So it's a clear liner. I didn't have a small enough one to fit that particular one, so I just have a plastic, I just lost it down the end, but it's just a plastic container. So repurposing plastics is a great way to do this. And to add to this, all we have to do, get some more moss here, is basically the same process that we did before, and it is to spray this with a little bit of adhesive on the outside edge, and then start adding moss to this. Now, if it's a clear liner, it's not going to show the paint through. You may, if you want to use this and it already has this bright colors on that, either put your moss on thick, or you can highlight that with some spray paint to hide that. So you continue with this, use a little bouillon, and just secure it in a couple places. And I'm not going to go all the way around, but you get the general gist of the technique. So that kind of secures it into place. And then again, with all of your debris, let's just dump all of this in here. With just all that pretty little color that we're going to add. Again, Tack 2000 sprayed onto the nest. And then you can add all of this color and detail to this. And once you have that on there, spray with some more Tack 2000. Make sure it's all in place. Clean up your design table as you go with it. And use up all of that debris to create then that great little nesting. Of course, you want to go all the way around. You don't necessarily have to go to the inside of this, because you're going to end up covering that with the flowers as you do this. And as you can see from the design that I showed you earlier, let's go this way. You can see that we have that beautiful little nest. It has some foliage, some eucalyptus coming out the sides. The foam is right at the top of the level of the container, so that that nest sits right down on top, and it gives me then the ability to bring that design out. And here I have repetition. If I have it on one side, I'm going to put it on the other side. The same with pulling our yellow down into the focal area and creating depth in our design, because that yellow is the popular pop color that we want. And then using these incredible miniature carnations that give us that fun look. They're called Star. So again, expanding your designs, using something that's going to take less time to create, using a pre-made or creating your own. Have fun with creating your armature nests.